Hey guys, Soul Closet here, back with another Minecraft video, and this is a creation that I made 8 trillion years ago. Not really, I made it in mid to late 2012, but here, let me give you a little bit of backstory on why this exists, because it's big, and as I'll show you in a second actually, the redstone is not very compact. It's kind of bad, in fact. Here, let me send that back so I can show you in a bit what it does. Okay. So, I really got into watching Minecraft YouTubers based on redstone and doing redstone myself in mid to late 2012. I never even knew what redstone was until 1.7 when they introduced pistons and creative mode. Was that 1.8? That was 1.8, sorry. But in 1.7, when that came out, I decided I want to make pistons, but I don't know how to make them, so I'm just going to get a mod that lets me make them. So I learned how to use mods, kind of. I learned how to use... I basically made mods do what creative mode does now before creative mode was released in 1.8 beta. This was all beta. I love how I have to say that now because I've been playing for long enough to where there is a real 1.7 right now. I'm playing it right now. Back in my day, 1.7 was, oh my god, this is amazing. Anyway... maybe I got a little carried away there. Let me show you what this does. So, my first big contraption that I attempted to make, and that I did make, but it was a big contraption, was a vending machine. Now, you can't see right now, because I've decided not to do face cam for this video, since it's all about the wiring, but it's, I'm doing huge air quotes, because it's, not really a vending machine. More like, hey... switch lever up for cart 1 or down for cart 2. Well, I'd like to store something in cart 1. Coin slot. Press the button to insert. Coins. I put a coin. I press the button to insert. And what do you know? Cart 1 pops out. It's got 3 redstone. I'm going to put my iron in there. Let's send it back. Press button to return storage cart. Down for cart 2. I'd like to see what I have in my cart 2. Insert a coin. Cart 2, redstone torch. Now, this is actually a pretty cool thing. It's absolutely useless, and it's barely even considered a proof of concept, considering that it's really simple. But, look at the wiring. This is appalling. Look at this! I mean, it may look like this doesn't need to exist. There is a gap here, but I could have just put those blocks down there. There are sign labels, and look how much extra track there is. All the way to go back to here, to fucking cart 2, or cart 1, cart 1, cart 1. And I had to make extra powered rails, and the wiring goes all the way back here, underground, and around the whole thing, back to, like, down here. Yeah. There's, like, inverters, and an AND gate, and pistons with blocks blocking off signals, and it's a big ass mess. So I went back to my Planet Minecraft account recently, which is where this was stored before, as well as something else I'll show you in my next video, and I found this, and I'm like, I remember being really confused the last time, in 2013, that I tried to go back and look how this worked. At the time when I looked at that, I figured, oh, I know a little bit more about redstone, let me look at this. And I was confused as to how the hell I did this, because I hadn't actually done much with redstone but build weird doors that don't actually do anything. I knew how to follow a tutorial, but I didn't know much about the fundamentals of redstone. When I was just making this stuff in 2012, as you can clearly see, I wasn't the best with compactness, but I at least knew the fundamentals of how it worked and what I could do with minecarts and wiring. I come back about 3 weeks ago. No, 2 weeks ago. Actually, could have been less. I don't know. In the last couple of weeks. And I download it, and I'm like, okay, let me see what this is all about. And I'm like, wow, I actually know how I did that this time. And so I made this. Yes, there's no blue because I forgot, and yes, it does have a bump on the side. But when I come up here, you'll notice something. It looks about half the size. The control panel's the same size, and the build is only 1 block taller. Now, I'll put the measurements up on the screen here. 1 second. Okay, so I went back and looked at that. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. I'm actually just going to show you guys. This is a 15 by 20 block build. 15 this way, 20 this way. And it actually goes farther out that way underground. I'm almost positive anyway. And there's just a hole in the bottom which means you couldn't import this to any map that wasn't an original old school flat grass. Because, yeah, see, it goes under the wall, and I think it actually pops out. So, yeah, it's like 15 by 21, and I didn't measure the height, but I think because it goes underground, but, you know, quite large. This one, excuse me, 8 by 15. 8 this way, 15 this way, including the control panel and all that, just like I did on that one. But on this one, the casing legitimately came out to here. Now, that was mostly a visual formality, but still, you know, 15, 8, instead of 15, 20. Yeah. So let me show you how this works. It's also slightly faster. I'm going to show you guys it working again, just so that you know. Whoa. Excuse me, but that looked like a glitch. 1 second. Okay, sorry guys. It was just, I hadn't actually tested it since I put the case around it, because, you know, I'm not going to build it in a constricted box. I wanted to build it as small as possible and then encase it. Turned out there was just a redstone signal going into a part of the iron casing around it that was conflicting with another wire. Anyway, and I can show you where that is, but it's not really that important. So now let me show you that it works exactly the same. So, units with a little design thing. I was going to have it do that instead, but that's a smiley face, so I figured I'd just make it little mountains instead. So units, up for unit 1. Okay, there aren't any coins in here, but I'll put them in there for the world download. As you can see in the up here, it's going to be in the description. So let's pop a coin in, and we should get unit 1. You may have heard that lava noise. That's because there's no longer a hole in the ground, which means with MC Edit and a little bit of manual trimming, or being good at MC Edit, you could import this into any world that you wanted. It doesn't require a hole in the ground that goes out of the world like in the other build. So that means that with the world download I gave you guys, you could use it for anything. Anyway, so there's a block of iron in unit 1. Let's send this back. Should be good. Let's try unit 2. There's never an end to the minecart noise like there is in the other one. There's no unnecessary repeaters or anything. There's actually 2 repeaters that need to be there for wire conflicts to make it not bulge out on this side or in the back, but they don't delay the time by more than 2 redstone ticks. But anyway, this one has a minecart in it. We can send it back. So it works the same, it's just faster and more compact. So remember the wiring of that one and how it worked with 2 pistons that covered up other redstone wires to block them off. Look at this. Also, it's all nice on the inside with torches and consistent iron and a minimal amount of grass, except for the ones I didn't want to replace because I'm lazy and redstone is hard. So anyway, so this comes in here, it goes through here. You'll notice how compact this is already. The line for the second thing actually goes down here. You can't click the lever from down here, which would be cool, but you can't. So there's the lava. Instead of a hole in the ground, there's just lava for the minecart to burn. You'll also notice that the track that it goes in is much shorter, and it's above ground because it doesn't have to go under the world. So that's kind of a nice feature. The coins, again, air quotes, basically just come in here and activate a detector rail and get eaten up, because there's no point in collecting minecarts. You wouldn't even use this on a server because it's a storage system and not a vending machine, and it's also useless because you could just have a chest. But I like it anyway, and if you guys like it, again, you can check it out. So, let's see how this works. It'd be easier to explain in the other one, but this one uses a different mechanic, so I can't really do that. Okay, so, right now the signal for Unit 2 is on. It goes down here, and, okay good, that's a safe block. It goes through this, and you'll notice that it's unpowering that. Now what does that do? The torch that we just saw is going into this torch. Now, you may not know this, but if you have a redstone signal, a hard redstone signal, according to Seth Bling's Redstone for Dummies or whatever video, or Mojang Redstone video, link on the screen right here, but, and in the description. But basically, he described soft and hard redstone signals. A soft redstone signal is when you just have a piece of redstone casually going into something with no repeater, to where if you had redstone, and then there was a block here, and this was going into here, the signal wouldn't come out the other side. That describes a soft signal. Sorry about that. So yeah, anyway, soft and hard redstone signals. A hard one would be if a repeater is going into it. Or if a torch is going up into a block. Basically, if you power a piece of track that's oriented the right way, with track on both sides coming from a separate straight entity to where it could turn either way, you can actually switch which way it turns. And both of the designs, which will both be included, I'll be giving you this world specifically, both designs use this to choose which cart comes down and goes back the right way. That's why if you pull out cart 2, pull the lever, and then push it back, it'll hit cart 1 and bounce back to you, which isn't intentional in the build, but it is kind of a safety system to tell you, hey, you fucked up. So it's kind of nice to not have to wire something like that in, but have it still be a feature. So anyway, that's how it switches which cart you use. However, you might be thinking, how does it know not to send both of them out and have them just fight to see which one gets to you? Well, as we saw, the signal goes down here to that torch, but you'll notice it's hard powering this block. And because it's hard powering the block and not soft powering, the signal goes straight on through. If we come back here, come down here, the signal that we were just looking at is right there from the lever. It goes through here, and you'll notice it comes out the other side, hard powered through this block, and then it's going to a repeater, which means it's hard powering this block as well. That means that the redstone comes out, that goes into here to press that torch, and what that's wired to, what is that wired to? I know it's important. I think it might actually be wired to, oh, that's part of the AND gate. Okay, I'll get to that in a bit. It hard powers through this block, comes through here, redstone signal goes in there, and you'll notice it just kind of disappears. That's because there's a little trick with half slabs, stone half slabs to be exact, the originals, where you can actually make stairs back and forth going up because they're only half a block. So you'll notice the redstone signal just kind of goes boop, 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 and then it's just up here to power this piston. This design, instead of using 2 pistons to cancel out the other signals, it only uses 1. So that if the lever is pulled to select cart 2, marked with wood, if cart 2 is selected, this piston is on, and that means that when you power this, cart 1 won't be able to get through. The signal gets blocked off right here. Okay? So that's why cart 1 doesn't go when you have cart 2 selected. Now let me pull the lever again. Where's the little hatch? Should be right up here. Yep. If I pull the lever up to select cart 1, okay, or unit 1, whatever. Come on. Okay. Then you'll notice that piston is retracted. But then you may ask, why doesn't cart 2 go when the piston's retracted? Well, that all comes down to this AND gate. If you don't know what an AND gate does, it's essentially like signal 1, which is the lever, in this case, and signal 2, which is the coin, air quotes, hitting the detector. They both have to be powered at the same time for this signal, the output, to come on. This signal that requires both the cart 2 lever and the coin signal to turn on does stairs up here and activates cart 2. It powers that block with hard power. That turns that rail on, and that makes the cart slide down and give you cart 2. When you have cart 1 selected, however, the lever for cart 2 isn't on. That's why you're going up for cart 1. It doesn't actually power anything else to have it up, because up is off, and all that really does is it just makes it so that the AND gate doesn't work and cart 2 doesn't get fired. The signal, you'll notice the signal is not being blocked off for cart 1. It can just go over here and do that, power this block with hard power to activate that rail and send out cart 1. You'll notice also that because this torch is powered, because the lever's off, so it's not hard powering this block, the rail is now in a different direction, so that cart 1 can flow through, not cart 2. So that's literally everything. That's how this works. It may have sounded really complicated if you don't do redstone yourself, but I promise you that I make things sound complicated according to people I know who don't know about redstone, which is almost everyone I know. I make things... I'm unintentionally good at making things sound complicated. If you want to see this for yourself and realize how uncomplicated it actually is, I'd suggest looking at this one if you have no prior redstone knowledge, or little prior redstone knowledge. You have to know what things do, like repeaters and pistons and such. But this one you can go in and look at. I've obviously included hatches for both, as well as the dimensions on signs on top of them, and instructions on which lever direction does what. I will put a cart in here right now, and you will see that same cart right in the middle if you download the world. So that's all for today, guys. I just want to show you my vending machine 3.0. This is the 3.0. It used to be bigger. It used to be like 30 by 28. It was ridiculous. I was so bad at redstone, and it was slow as fuck, and so this is my vending machine 3.0 as listed on my old Planet Minecraft page, which I'm not going to link because it's useless and it's so outdated you would laugh at the things I have on there. But this is the vending machine 3.0 included in the world, and this is the vending machine Omega. I'm going to put a sign on it right now that says that because it's awesome. Vending machine Omega. There you go. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Soul Closet out. Bye.